Hey everyone, so we have some updates here for the Fox single window. There are no updates for the CBS early. The CBS early looks pretty straightforward though, obviously, as you can tell. Right here. I mean, maybe except for Mobile on PC, which I don't know why they're showing Las Vegas at Miami. But the rest of it though looks pretty straightforward though in what they're going to show. Pretty much. Maybe Illinois a little bit. Some of it, the SPR area shows them. Jacksonville, Detroit, or Minnesota, Tennessee. Okay, sure. If Illinois show Jacksonville, Detroit, why not just show Jacksonville, Detroit? But okay. I can see it. Oh, let's slide though. You know. So we have it up to here. We have San Diego, California. San Diego, California. Chose to show. San Diego, California was picked to show LA Rams at New England. However, they have gone to the late window game and chosen to show Seattle at San Francisco. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina was picked to show the national game that you're going to see on like the Central and Eastern time zones. That was and then except for Phoenix, except for Arizona. But which I don't know why that one Arizona is not showing like the divisional game. Arizona is not showing like see out San Francisco in the late window. That's besides the point. Most you're gonna all see. So, but Myrtle Beach, South Carolina has chosen to show Atlanta at Denver in the late window instead of Green Bay at Chicago. And Pocatello, Idaho was picked to show Seattle at San Francisco. However, they decided to flex in Atlanta at Denver in the late window instead. They have chosen to show Atlanta at Denver late instead of Seattle at San Francisco in the late window. So, there's the 3 updates for the Fox single window for 2024 week 11. Single window. This week is pretty straightforward, you know who you're getting. Like I thought it was going to be Green Bay, Chicago. And the CBS really, I knew it was going to be Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Green Bay, Chicago, and the single window Fox. Like you could kind of predict that. Especially since Kirk Cousins was injured and Denver's been struggling. San Francisco, not like high enough in like I guess they're not high enough in like you know in like the standings. I guess to be number 1, but now week 12 is going to be very interesting. I'm looking at just the teams, and there are 6 teams with byes. But look, every game CBS has in the same window. Not that great. It's like there's one good team, and then there's one team that's like, like except Miami. You could see the record's like not the greatest, but Miami's better than New England though. Wait, so no, the single window, the CBS single window. I don't think you'll have necessarily one designated national game. For the CBS single window next week. It might just be where like they might just show it based off like divisional matchups, like divisional teams. like regionalize it based off like, hey, you're in like the like AFC West division, Kansas City is. So maybe, you know, if you're like LA Chargers area, you might get Denver, so you could get Kansas City, Carolina. Or if you're the, you know, they might regionalize it, or they might base it off like, oh, like Buffalo, say they're not playing, but Buffalo area, in that area you get Kansas City at Carolina for like playoff seedings and this and that. You know, you kind of get like those matchups. So it'll be more in line with that. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be like divisional or like seeding matchups for playoffs. And then we have the Fox early window. Now it could be any one of these three games. Could be the Fox early window. But it depends on how this week goes, because they picked Green Bay at Chicago for the featured game. And are they going to pick Chicago 2 weeks in a row? Maybe if Chicago wins, they might pick Chicago. But it all depends, because Dallas did not do that good with Cooper Rush at quarterback. Their offense fell apart against Philadelphia. So, are they going to choose to show Dallas? Probably not. That's early predictions, but not yet. Not right. I mean, no. Minnesota, Chicago. I mean, Chicago's offense did not look great. I mean, they kept them in, the special team. They kept field goals. They would have scored touchdowns and have won that game against Washington, but man. And then they looked not great in the last couple games against Arizona and New England. So are they going to show Chicago? If Chicago does not look that great against Green Bay, probably not. I mean, Indianapolis. I mean, they don't look like there's not one designated feature matchup. I mean, in Indianapolis still. Early indications, I would say it's Minnesota, Chicago. The only reason I say Minnesota, Chicago is just because of the fact that Dallas, they do not look that attractive with Cooper Rush at quarterback. And they're in that Monday Night Football game this week. Week 11. If they don't perform that well in that Monday Night Football, I don't think they're going to want to be shown on the national windows. You know, they're not going to get the favorable national windows or even the treatment, the single window, the early window. Minnesota, Chicago. I mean, Chicago is not. I mean, neither one of the teams. I mean, there's three teams that are playing: Washington, Minnesota, Detroit. Have good records. The games of those look attractive on that side for those teams for playoffs. But when you go to the Dallas, the Chicago, the Indianapolis, that side, they don't look that attractive, I mean, I could see the matchups being regionalized, though, like NFC East area. You get NFC East area. You get Dallas at Washington. Maybe NFC North. Get maybe one of the two feature teams. Maybe Minnesota, Chicago, or Detroit, Indianapolis. It might be. I don't know how Wisconsin would go. I like the Green Bay area and that area would go. I'm not for sure, but it would be one of those areas maybe AFC South. You got Detroit at Indianapolis. It could be regionalized based off that or for playoff seedings. I'm sure there will be a featured national game, select the areas that aren't involved in any of these matchups. If they're all NFC based. But I really don't know though. I really don't see any of them like super attractive though for week 12 as like the featured national game. Like I really don't like. I mean, no. I mean, none do. But I mean, you have Atlanta that looks okay, but Kirk Cousins is injured. So how they're back, even Denver's favorite. Denver has played okay on Sunday against Kansas City, but the game before we have not so great other matchups. It's like you got Cincinnati, you got Buffalo, you got 3 teams that might be in a. I mean, it's just regionalized based also. I think a lot of these games are going to be regionalized based, except for the Fox Slate, San Francisco, Green Bay, because it's a Central Time Zone or East Coast team. They always play like later than their normal like kickoff, like 105 or 125 Pacific, or in for if it was like a West Coast team, Pacific Time Zone team, like Arizona, like Seattle, San Francisco, one of the LA teams. Then Denver, if there's 205 or 225 Mountain, or even Arizona partially, because they don't have daylight savings. So they'd be like different times. So they'd always play at like at 10. Yeah, so but yeah. It's just very interesting how, because I mean it's going to be very regionalized based. It's going to be very regionalized. Like regionalized based off like you're like either based off like your like if you're in like an like AFC West team, or you might get Kansas City, or if you're LA Charger, LA area, or you might get Denver, Las Vegas, LA. But it's probably actually Kansas City, Carolina. You probably have, or they base off like playoff teams like Buffalo. Buffalo is gonna get, like I said, Kansas City most likely, probably. You have. There might be some areas where like none of these matchups really make too big of a difference. However, you might have it where you get some. You might have it where like that case, you might have where like divisional matchups, or if there's no divisional matchups or no matchups that matter too much for playoff teams in your little area, then you might just get like a national game. But what is a national game? Maybe Kansas City. I really don't know. Thought it's really the same thing. Don't know. Too early to tell. It's gonna have to be based on what Dallas, Chicago, Detroit do, and maybe a little bit of what Washington. Washington not so much because they play Philadelphia, Minnesota, and Detroit a little bit more. But we'll see though. It's just going to be too hard to tell. So I'll let you. When it gets released, I'll let you know. But man, it's way too early to tell. Way too early to tell what it is. But you're not gonna have a designated. It's gonna be like this week. Like I could see it being this week for Fox here. Like where it's for Fox here single. Where you have like a national game, but it's not like a like it's a national game, but it's not like it's a 50% of the country national game. I would say probably. Then the other like maybe 50% of the country show was other games. So that's what I could see for next week on like the early and late window, like the early window for Fox. Maybe the early window for Fox might be like the CBS window, maybe. But I could also see it being like the Fox window for the CBS single next week and for the Fox early too. We'll see.